Hello everyone, welcome, or welcome back. You are listening to Unfiltered with D and G. As in Dan and George. I am George, this is my co-host Dan.
And thanks for joining us for episode 19, and cheers.
Cheers.
All right, so how you doing?
Good. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
What's our first topic?
Well, I wanted you to kind of discuss how we left off last time regarding, you said you were racially profiled.
So
I want to hear more about that.
So we were talking about racial profiling, and I do want to talk about the time that I was racially profiled.
Absolutely.
And just to give you a background, I was a police officer for 7 years, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like the work, and there was another job that I was interested in, and I did that for more money.
But you're being honest, you were also a Marine for a year or two.
That's
not on the record?
No, that's off the record.
Oh, special ops.
Yeah. So, anyway, I opened up a barbershop at one point, and so I was in a strip mall. My shop was in a strip mall, and it was at night, and I was in the process of setting up my barbershop. I was painting, I was moving in the chairs, I was putting up the mirrors. Anyway, I was putting up I was outside. This was at night, about 8 o'clock at night, and there's really no one in the parking lot left. I'm the only one left in this strip mall setting up, because I'm just setting up my shop.
Sure.
So I was out there by the street setting up a banner saying grand opening, George's Barbershop. So I was walking back to the shop from the street in this empty parking lot, and a cop pulls up in his car, stops me, and goes, "Let me see your ID." And so, oh, that's right. We were talking about how when people get pulled over, they could either comply or they can supposedly know the law and say, "Why are you stopping me?" And start asking these questions, start being, basically being hard to work with.
Yeah, argumentative.
Argumentative towards the cop.
Hard to work with, okay.
So, and so let me just kind of say what happened here. So he stops me. I'm in the parking lot. I'm going towards my barbershop. I didn't tell him right off the bat, "Oh, you know what? You don't have to worry about me. I'm the owner of this barbershop right here." I stop. I pull out my wallet, take out my ID, and he checks it. And I didn't really ask him why he stopped me because one, I didn't want to be that guy to just be argumentative. And this cop, he wasn't quite a rookie, but he wasn't a veteran. So I knew he was one of those cops because I hung out with cops. He was one of those cops that was gung ho and wanted to find someone, and he wanted to fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see
he wanted you to argue.
He was. It seemed like, and I could be judgmental here, and this might not be the case. But if I were a betting man, or if I were a gambling man, I would bet that he was the type of cop that would be, pushing back if I pushed, because I knew what my rights were.
Right.
Anyway, he checks my ID, and then everything was good, and he just kind of drives away and just kind of parks next to another cop.
Watching you?
No, he was just meeting another cop
in that area.
Where
you could see.
Yeah. So I go back to my to my barbershop, get a couple of coupons. I go back to those cops that were, they're parked next to each other. Okay. I go back to, "Hey, I own this barbershop here, and it's just opening up. I just want to let you guys know, you guys get, a discount. Here's a couple of coupons. You guys are more than welcome to come in here." So anyway, long story short, I didn't want to argue with a cop because I wanted him to stop people in that parking lot because I didn't want shady people.
Sure. Shady people that look like
shady. Yeah, shady people that look like me, look like a bald-headed thug.
No, I understand.
Walking around and breaking into shops.
Right. You'd rather than be vigilant and just be on top of it than not.
I would rather him stop people.
Right.
Which is wrong. Just to randomly stop. You can't just. You have to have probable cause to stop someone.
But what is probable cause if it's and this is what
and they can make anything up. They can
make anything up.
They can go. Well, there was we had a call here. The suspect matching your description.
But it's dark. All the shops are closed. What's this guy doing?
Right.
I mean,
but see, I wanted
is that probable cause though.
Well, they have to have they can't just say
in a commercial. I'm asking.
No, I wasn't doing anything suspicious. I was walking in a parking lot. I wasn't looking inside a window or looking inside cars. Looking inside, separately.
So do you think if you were white that wouldn't have happened?
I don't think so. If I was white in a suit walking that parking lot, it never would have happened. Guarantee you, it never would have happened.
Did you ever, when you were a cop, do something very similar, or did you just I'm not going to do that?
No, I didn't because I wasn't put in that situation, and plus I was too busy at the time. Yeah, at the time when I was working there, we were just way too busy. This was I don't want to mention the police department on this. It was in New Mexico.
Sure.
And it wasn't Albuquerque.
Well, oh yeah.
It was where my shop was. Anyway,
they're tough there.
I actually, I knew it was wrong, but I wanted him to continue to stop people like that to protect my own interest at my shop. And if that's wrong, then that's wrong. But you see, know what? But I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong, so I complied.
Exactly. What I was going to say is, what's the harm for people to comply, regardless if you're being, what they're doing is wrong,
right?
But they have maybe the right intentions, but what they're doing is wrong.
Right.
Like, what's the harm in just complying? All right, so you walk away. Now, it'd be different if you comply complied, and then suddenly they arrest you for some bullshit. But
well,
it
I
went
mean,
away. You gave me your ID, nothing. It's
I
like,
can
all
see
right.
I can see the argument of now where do you draw the line that they just start stopping random people? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't allow them to just think everyone's a suspect and just start stopping random people, wasting their time.
What if
They
there
know
was?
they're not.
What if a crime happened recently in the area and it fit your description? A bald-headed guy,
Okay,
your height,
well, I
weight, and
understood.
then that's probably.
Well, like I said-
Is that considered probable cause?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be.
That's the thing.
And that's why I didn't really make it a big deal.
You didn't even ask.
And
him
I
why
didn't even
being
ask.
stopped?
I didn't
So there
even
you
ask
go.
because I already thought in my head within a few seconds.
They kicked a turn.
Well, no, within a few seconds, I already knew my intention or my ulterior motive of why I wanted this cop to continue doing this behavior.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
To protect those interests.
To protect
Okay.
my shop.
Interesting.
Right.
I thought that was very classy of you to give him some coupons and just no hard feelings, bro.
Right. No, and then
Petty business.
but I wanted him. But
To
it was
know
it was
that
my
you're-
way. Yeah, it was my way of saying, "Hey, you fucker.
Right.
I'm not a thug. I'm this business owner that's right here."
Might be the first time you cursed on this.
No, I've cursed a couple times.
Just a
didn't
couple.
notice. Yeah.
Inappropriate behavior, George.
Well,
no,
I'm passionate
I mean,
about that
I
racial
can tell.
profile.
I can tell.
Yeah.
It's funny how that racial profiling had your best interests in heart. And like you were saying, by him doing that, if he does it to you, he'll do it to other people.
Right.
And it only protects your interest.
Right.
But that was a classy move. Still, it's kind of a zinger to them.
Oh, absolutely.
I can't believe I just stopped that guy. He's so
Yeah.
nice. Now some coupons
Yes.
and so forth.
Kill him with kindness.
Kill him with kindness. Always be humble, right?
Yeah.
And sweet and kind. And did they ever come into the shop?
No.
No.
Because they probably thought, oh, this guy's going to screw up my hair because
On
I
purpose.
racially profiled him.
I'm gonna nick his ear.
Yeah, he's gonna purposely screw my hair up because I offended him. Because
have long hair?
I don't even.
You remember?
I don't remember.
Well, I think I was racially profiled many times.
What?
You know what? What is this misconception that white people
I'm
don't
pretty
get?
sure you
don't
weren't.
Get, I'm pretty sure I was. I mean, I'm not. There's something
you
about.
can only be racially profiled if you were in maybe Louisiana and all the cops there were black.
Well, let's say I'm the only white guy. I'm in a suit and I'm in a black neighborhood, and clearly I look like a drug dealer or something. You know what I mean? But I've been racially profiled before.
When?
Well, the thing is, okay. Well, let's just say you go to an entertainment district, a business, people work on tips kind of attitude, and you're white and you dress nice. Aren't they racially profiling you?
So they're racially.
So now I walk on money because I'm white and
so
I'm
they're
in a suit?
racially profiling you for
They expect me to have money.
for being a big spender.
Well, I didn't spend yet. What I'm saying
But I'm
is,
just
aren't
saying,
they profiling me?
That's what they're racially
based on my
Sure.
ethnicity and
guess-
my dress code?
I guess technically that could be called racially.
That's what I'm saying. So I've experienced it. I know the hardships you people feel. I do know the hardships because just because, let's say, at a certain status in life, people just assume you're rich or you're educated or you're going to pay everything.
Yeah, but here's the
something.
difference. You
are.
want that.
Well, we all want success.
No, you want that look. You want
That
that
image.
You want that image.
Absolutely,
So-
because I'd rather be
Right.
profiled that way
people
than
are
be
being
a
racially
bum.
people
Be a bum.
when people talk about racially profiling, they're being racially profiled as a criminal. You're being racially profiled as a rich white person.
But that's still
you're-
unfair. That's still there's an
Yes,
injustice to
yes,
that because now I have to
absolutely.
tip more than 20%. I got to
Yes.
keep that image going. Right? When you start
Yes.
tipping 50, 60, 70%.
Yes, that's
They get you.
pretty equal. Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, I understand those hardships. What else? Have you ever been profiled elsewhere, or was that the only time?
No, that was the only time. One time, it wasn't racially profiled, but I went to a call. This lady was complaining about their neighbors, and she goes, and I don't think because I don't know, those of you who are listening as opposed to watching us on video, I am of Filipino descent, so I look kind of Asian. Anyway, this lady started screaming, "Those chinks across the street kept playing their stupid music," I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just, we'll keep an eye out, ma'am.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I mean,
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Old people.
Yeah, old people.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, well, the world needs less profiling of any sorts, but at the
Yeah.
same time, I think once again it's the media. They divide us. I mean, I just wish everything was just an American. That's it. No women, no genders. Get rid of the whole gender thing.
We're just people.
We're just people. But do you want to be treated equally? Then remove
What?
all of that. Why does everything out there, every form, every application, everything ask for what your ethnicity is? Why? For stats. They want
They want to know.
statistics.
Well, yeah, they want to know.
To divide us. To further divide us.
I guess, but I think they just want to know what's making up the population.
It's none of their fucking business anymore.
Well, I think it's
That's what
good
pisses me
data.
off.
I think it's good data to
don't-
know where the population is going, to know where the world is going.
But it divides us. It creates racism.
Does it? I think racism
does.
is being created because
Racism creates racism.
right. Well,
But-
yeah, I don't know how that
But
works.
it really does. But if you're born one way and you don't know anything else, and your mind is pre-programmed or to think a certain way. I mean, we're all, people grow up, They stick to their own communities. Their communities are generally all of the same at times.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and then they think one way.
So
branch out.
Is the black? I don't know if this is right, but it is. You know those? Is there a black award? Is there like the Essence Award or whatever that is? It's like
The BET Award.
Yeah, the
or
BET Awards.
Black Entertainment Television.
Yeah. So
Well,
is
that's-
that racist?
I think it is.
Like
That needs to go away.
like basically everyone they're honoring is gonna be black.
But the way I look at that is, if there was a white show, it would.
Oh, it would absolutely be racist.
So you want? Yeah, all right, absolutely, and
Yeah,
without
so that's
question.
so that's
if
my
it's not
question.
good for one race, it's not good for the other.
That's
in my
why I
opinion.
questioned
If
it.
you want to be treated equally,
Right.
you can't have the same. You can't have different rights to do stuff. If
Right.
you want to be treated equally, I want to be treated equally. I don't want.
There's-
I don't want a special month. I don't want a special anything.
There's a
But doesn't that make
there's a
sense?
dating
though?
site. There's a dating site. I want to say there's a dating site called blacksonly.com.
That's racist, in my opinion. If they don't,
I
if they don't-
guarantee you, there's not a whitesonly.com.
That's my point, and that's bullshit to me.
It is
That's
kinda
reverse
bullshit, yeah.
racism, or it's just
Yeah.
racism because whites are not allowed. So, but that
I don't think
continues it.
It probably doesn't say whites aren't allowed.
No, but if you're
it's-
white, they won't take you.
Probably.
Now I want to sign up for that one to see what they do, and I want to have a big smiling face. But I don't think that's right. I think that's what continually creates racism. I mean, when we divide our, how is that legal?
Right.
Why can't it? Why I don't know. It's just, if I started a march all whites only, I'd be a racist. But
Well,
any
yeah.
other race can
It's
do
called
that.
the
You can go.
KKK. And they're still
just-
around. They still gather and they have the right
Yeah, but
to
they have
gather.
to,
I guess
that's why they wear hoods. They're ashamed. You know, they have to hide themselves because then they'll be targeted in their work and their jobs, and they'll be fired. But what I'm saying, I'm not for any hate group. I don't think necessarily. See, this is funny. I don't believe the KKK is out there lynching people today. They have a bad history.
Right.
We all agree on that. But today, it does have that stigma of racism. I get it. They're pro-white, right? They're nationalists, they call, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, but that has such a negative connotation to it, right? If I said I was in the KKK, immediately I'm racist, right?
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
yeah. It's,
All right, but then we couldn't be friends for 30 years, right? I mean, you know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
My woman is Asian.
Right.
They would lynch me in that world, I would assume, right?
I'm
But,
sure.
but my point is, I think when other groups can do their thing,
Right.
that creates division.
It keeps the
keeps
division.
it going.
Yeah,
but
because there's already.
But now you have whites out there that are angry that they can do their thing, but we can't do ours. We have to do ours in secrecy, because if we do something, if we have an all-white month or an all-white anything,
Yeah.
I mean, even when the awards,
White history.
if there's not enough women, people complain. If there's not enough black directors, they complain, or women directors, or not enough. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, why can't we just view the product and go
Well-
on the basis of merit? You know, and I mean, I hate racism. I don't want racism. I've never been racist. I love everybody. I mean, I love everybody. You should see the people I love in my lifetime, right? I mean, I'm just saying, I love everybody, and I'm not a hater by any means, but I hate the way I think our government and our the media divides us. You know, I hate anytime they say stats of the black vote, or the Latino vote. I hate it,
Right.
because all it does is divide us more. Or every time there's a shooter, why do they have to say their ethnicity and who they killed? Why
Right.
can't you say this crazy motherfucker with this gun went and shot 6 Americans? Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. But I'm
Well,
so
that's
passionate about this
yeah.
one.
We've already covered that topic. Like,
Well, we're going to continue to cover several topics
well,
over and over again.
I'm just saying, like
my
I've
passion.
already said about that is that they don't say that because it doesn't sell. It doesn't sell on the media. That people don't click on that article because they said this person shot these Americans. People would click more on this white teenager shot 7 black kids. That's what's going to sell.
And that's what divides us.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem with our society, you know?
Yes,
Remember, this used to be
there's a lot of problems with our society.
Yeah, and it's never going to go away. But we used to, I grew up, I remember in grade school, we were the melting pot. We're really not melting together. I mean, it's probably worse now than it was when I was growing up. And maybe because, again, social media, you see it and you see
yeah.
every topic. But because everything is an instant, everything is, that instant gratification that we see everything, and it looks like the world's at war. But I got Asians to the left of my house. I have Mexicans to the right. My other neighbors are black. I mean, my neighborhood is very diverse, and we all get along, and so I don't see what America sees at times, but when I watch the
That's
news,
good. Yeah, you're not in the trenches.
but we all get along, and I don't understand why it's not like that everywhere, but I think it is. Like every neighborhood, everyone gets along with their neighbors.
Partially it's because of education.
Absolutely.
People aren't educated enough to know the difference or to accept people the way they are, or it's how they're brought up, or it's their parents. Because they say no one's born racist, so it's got to be because of that, right? Exactly.
Absolutely, it's learned. But I mean, I don't see it changing anytime ever when we continually keep things divided.
Right.
If you don't allow the whites to march, and then don't give them coverage, don't say anything. Nobody cares. Let them march. There's no other side. There's no rally. Just let them. Who cares?
Right.
If no one cared, they wouldn't march anymore because no one's listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. It wouldn't be a big deal if no one paid attention to it.
If no one, don't give them any news. Don't give them coverage. Don't even. No one show up.
Right.
Just let them do their thing, and they look at each other and go, "Well, that was a waste of my time." They'll never march again.
Yeah,
right? Doesn't that make sense? Though, if the news didn't post, such negativity. If they weren't allowed to report any acts of violence, this world would be a better place. You know, if just violence wasn't reported.
Yeah, well, that's
we
never
all know
gonna
it
happen.
exists.
Right. It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen because you're right. Violence sells, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sex, violence, drugs, sex, and violence. That's what sells.
All the seedy shit in life, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, you know, it's frustrating because I don't see it ever changing.
I do have another topic about along the lines of my barbershop. So this is how me and my former partner at the barbershop ended up splitting up. Like, we weren't together. We were just business partners.
Did you ever throw it in her after hours?
No.
No, all right.
So I was working at the shop, and one of her customers that she told me before. Now, this could be partially my fault, but let me tell you the story. I was working late at the barbershop, and she was supposedly out of town. So she was going out of town, so she wasn't working. Anyway, one of her customers came in who she previously told me, oh, this guy only comes to me. I'm the only one that he would ever let touch his hair. He always wanted a flat top. So anyway, he comes in, sees my partner's not there, and he comes to me and says, and because he's seen me work before, because I work right beside her, he's seen me work before, and he's seen my flat tops. And apparently he liked it because he said, hey, can you cut my hair? But don't tell oh shit. I'll cut that out. But don't tell her.
Okay.
Okay. So, I had to think about it for a second. Should I tell him no? Or should I say, yeah, okay. Otherwise, I guess he won't. Because he did tell me, you know what? I just don't like how she cuts my hair anymore. I don't like how she does my flat top. So either you cut my hair or I go somewhere else. So neither one of us would get his business. So I guess my rationale was, I either cut his hair and we keep him as a customer, or he goes somewhere else and we lose him forever. So I said, yeah. But he told me, but hey, don't tell her I came to you, okay? But I wanted to keep my word. So he sat down, put the cape over him, I started cutting his hair. Sure enough, our freaking luck, she walks in because she forgot something. She wanted to take something from the office and take it wherever she was going. She comes in and she sees me cutting his hair, and he kind of freezes, and I just kind of continue cutting his hair like nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can see it in her face, this look of betrayal. But she tried to play it off. Oh, hey, how you guys doing? And she went to the office, tries to pick up whatever. Oh, so when did you get here? And then they started talking a little bit, and sure. I just kept cutting his hair. And she goes, okay, well, we'll see you guys later. And she walked off. She went left, and I kept cutting his hair, and we just like looked at each other, right. And we didn't really say anything, but we were both like, oh shit. Anyway, I cut his hair, and I said, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. I won't. But don't worry. I won't say anything. So that's where it started. That's where shit hit the fan. The next day, she basically accused me of stealing her clients, and I never, to this day, I never told her, you know what? He came in, and this is the situation. Either we keep him as a customer, or he goes somewhere else. And he told me not to tell you, and I wanted to keep my word. But I never told her that because because if for some reason he wanted to go back to her,
you wouldn't care.
I didn't want him to get in trouble from her saying, hey, you went to George and he just told me that you told him not to tell me. So I basically never said anything. So I don't know what happened to that guy. I don't know what happened to her. Anyway, shortly after that, after a few months, we parted ways. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how do you tell a customer you're not going to cut their hair? I mean, he needs a haircut. She's not working. Right. He's not happy with her service, and yet I think she's being a little unprofessional.
I mean, I guess I
stole my client.
I could have said to that customer, you know what? She's particular about her clients, and I feel like this would cause conflict. I mean, that's what now that I know better. In retrospect, if that were to ever happen to me again, that's what I would probably do, because I wouldn't want that.
How much was a haircut?
Back then it was like, well, ours was $10.
So for $10, I mean,
$10,
like she's making a big deal about $10.
Yeah, for $10, the partnership went downhill.
Right, for $10. And yet, how much does he even tip her? $5?
I have no idea.
It's not even $10 because you both got $10.
Yeah,
but
I mean, he gave me 20, so he tips her
$10.
Yeah,
all right. Yeah, that's a tough one, but I don't think you're wrong in that situation.
Yeah, I mean,
it turned out to be bad, but in that situation, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
But you see that, and I've heard stories. People that work on tips, they're very territorial about their clients.
Absolutely.
And that's why I don't like that kind of cutthroat business. I mean, I can't imagine being like that.
Or I could have been honest with her and said, screw the client. Communicating with my business partner is more important. I could have done that.
Yeah, you could have said he's not going to go to you anymore. He's not happy with your haircut.
Right.
I mean, you could have been brutally honest with him.
I probably should have said that. I should have been I should have.
Maybe so.
Communicated better rather than.
Now, let's say she didn't come in that night. She didn't come to pick up whatever and see you cutting his hair. Would you have told her the next day?
No, absolutely not.
You told her?
No, because I didn't tell her.
What's the point?
I still didn't tell her. I didn't tell her just because the client told me not to tell her. Because I wanted to honor that client's wishes.
Right. All right. Well, live and learn. You're gonna cut hair again?
I don't know. I think as a backup, I like my current job.
Are you maintaining though?
Oh yeah, I keep my license every year.
Yeah. So is that just a fee, or do you have to
Yeah,
put in a certain amount of hours?
No, it's amazing, right? I can still.
It
I
is
mean, I still
amazing.
remember.
It's been a long time though.
If I were to get back into the business, I would probably go to I'd probably just start cutting homeless people's hair. And,
just get the practice.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, yeah, I won't be your first client, that's for sure. But I might have you shave my head on one of these podcasts.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm getting real trimmed down. I'm
Yeah.
at a 1 all around. Oh, yeah, I got nothing left.
Ah.
Nothing, honey.
You know me. I shaved my head when I was 27. That's when I started thinning, and
Just
I
took
didn't
off.
even wait. I didn't wait till my hair was a little receded anyway, but at 27, at the top, it really thinned out, and I just said, you know what, I'm just going to take it down, and I shaved my head.
Well,
right
I got
down there.
bright white skin, so I don't want to look like a cue ball.
Initially, everyone looks like a cue ball, so you either go outside and work on the yard and get a tan with a lot of sunscreen
Yeah.
and get it tanned right away, or you wait until it eventually gets tanned, because there's no way getting around. Everyone when they shave their head is always going to be white.
Yeah.
There's no way getting
Your
around
head-
that.
Your head wasn't that white.
It was kind of white, yeah.
But, ouch. I mean, look how...
Yeah, but so you will actually blend in with your whiteness. You know what I'm saying? As
Sounds
opposed to
very
my,
racist.
as opposed to
I
mine,
know.
because my dark skin, my white head
Well, yours
was
pretty
more
white. I don't
more of a
remember it being too
contrast.
white.
Yeah.
I remember it too white. But yeah, I mean, mine's out.
Yours is already your skin's already white, so it's not going to be.
Yeah,
there's
I
not
know
going
what
to be
you're
a big
saying.
contrast between your skin. and
I'm
your
already bald,
scalp.
so it's okay. I mean, in a sense, it's just I don't mind the 1 now, but my next level, I'm going to do. When you remove the blade, you have the metal blade.
0, yeah.
Well, you have a half. You have a 0.5 or so, or like.
Okay.
Well, you take off the 1 blade, and then the actual metal extends a little bit, so it could be down to a 0, or it could open up a little bit. I guess that's like a half. I think it's a
Yeah.
0, half, and then 1. So
Good.
yeah, I'll probably take it down to the half soon. But oh well.
Well, supposedly,
So much easier already.
bald guys have more testosterone. That's why they have an
Is that
overabundance of testosterone. That's why they lose their hair.
Interesting. Mine, I assume, is hereditary, but my dad now has more hair than I do.
So does my dad. I guess it
Unbelievable.
skips
Skips a generation.
That's what scientists say. No,
But my brother has.
that's a theory.
has
It
thick
skips
hair.
a generation.
My
yeah.
brother has thick hair. My grandfather had thin hair. So yeah, it is what it is. I always see those, social media little signs where they're men who are bald are more confident and blah 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 blah. I think not in the beginning. I think any man going balding is very subconscious.
right.
They don't feel very confident.
That's part of their identity for so many years.
Right.
And suddenly,
But if I had a beautiful, thick, long Jason Momoa hair, I'd be more confident when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cute in a hat. I don't mind. I'd probably still wear a hat if I had beautiful hair. But I don't know if those things are true. But I think when you get used to it, it's definitely more comfortable and easy and convenient. As you get older, too, it's easier. When you shaved your head at 27, though, that's got to be harder.
it was, yeah, but after that, it was great because I never had to buy shampoo ever.
Right. I mean,
I
it's
never
just
had to
convenient and
use
easy.
hair products. I never had to blow dry. I used to blow dry my hair all the time because I had
That's why you went bald.
I had straight wiry hair, and I didn't have, the way my hair grew is just in several different directions. So I had to use gel.
Oh, yeah?
Oh no, first I had to use gel, and then I'd blow dry my hair, and then I'd use mousse.
Yeah.
And then after the mousse dried, I'd use
Hairspray.
hairspray.
Yeah, a lot of product.
And that's how I kept my hair the way I wanted it.
Right.
Because otherwise, it would just be all over the place. Little did now having it all over the place is the style. So
Right.
back then,
It was messy.
back then it was the style was to blow dry your hair back, and
Yeah.
but now it's whatever. And now anything really now is a style, and no one really, I don't think anyone really cares anymore. But
I believe I'll be a 100% bald. I don't know what the razor. I'll do like a 0 by my birthday. So by July, I'll be 100% shaved, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm slow increments.
yeah, I use an electric razor.
Yeah. And I
to
bought
shave
one.
my
I
head.
already bought the razor to
Okay.
do my head, but
A lot
I
of
think I'm going to
people-
do the 0.
A lot of people like to use like the razor with a shaving cream and all that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that one, but
I'm just scared of razors. I'm scared of those. I'm scared I'm going to cut my scalp.
Yeah,
cut my
exactly.
scalp.
Little
So
bumps or whatever.
electric shaver is the way to go.
But I think I'm going to do the 0. So I do like facial hair and then so forth. But regardless, it's different for each guy. I think, I'm hitting 50. So it's more, it's like, he's an old guy. He's bald. It's more acceptable. But like when I was 20, 21.
Right.
And there were always guys that were shaving their head even back then, but they had a nice hair.
Head shape. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't with the blade. They would just trim it like a crew. Remember, it used to be called a crew cut?
Right. Well,
Do they even call that a crew cut anymore?
yeah. High and tight.
High and tight, but like the crew cut? Now it's flat top. I
Flat
got
tops.
it.
Yeah.
And
short.
so,
Well,
crazy shit.
yeah. It's.
Do you have any more over there?
Oh yeah, I'm good.
Made mine too. Do you have any left?
No.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, no, it depends, I guess. It depends on the individual and on how they view themselves and how,
Yeah.
like you stuck to your hair for a while.
Yeah.
You started having a comb over there for a little bit.
Yeah, when we get long, and then I'm like, But I've been cutting my own hair for a long time now.
But I mean, the
since
people with
it's
comb
2015.
overs, yeah,
And yet I'm still so
feel,
confident.
I feel like don't they know that? Can't they see that it's obvious that it's a comb over? I
Yeah,
mean,
I
there's
guess
some
so.
people that it's so obvious it's a comb over.
I almost wanted to try one of those wigs, almost like you've seen the
Yeah.
in modern,
Yeah.
but I just can't. I can't do
Well,
it.
it's a lot
I can't
of work.
glue that shit
It's
on my
expensive.
head.
It's a lot of work. and then I feel like it's just for nothing, really.
Yeah.
It's too much work.
But yeah, it's tough, man.
I mean,
See, women
you
think
can
men have it so easy. Men have it harder than women, I think. But well, I guess if you're a woman going bald, that's tough.
That's tough.
They wear wigs and everything,
Right.
but
I mean, it's probably equivalent to makeup if you were to wear a wig, because
yeah. Well, my goal was to make it to 50, but mine now is 49, so I'll be 1 year shy.
I would just rather people see me bald and know that that's my natural state, rather than for them to see me all the time with hair, which would be a wig, and then suddenly I don't have the wig, or I'm just lazy and I don't want to keep up the wig anymore, and I just take it off, and then people are like, "Holy shit, you're actually bald and you look weird." People always look weird after they shave their head when people have always seen them with hair.
Right.
But when people see you initially without hair and bald, then that's how they know you.
Right.
So that's how they see you, and that's normal for you.
Right.
And
so it's
that's
good though
what
that I've
I
been
want.
balding for so long.
Right.
So when anyone sees me bald, they're like, "Hey, he finally just took it off."
Well, yeah.
And this whole time we're talking about this, and you're talking about how you've been bald, and I'm like, this dude's got hair.
Yeah, I got the hair hat on.
The hair hat, and it's so funny.
I
It's
love the
actually
hair
funny.
hat.
And you know what's cracks me up? My last point on this is when you see actors who you know are bald,
Right.
and they have hair, it looks funny. It's the opposite, you know, and it's weird, you know. You see Bruce Willis in a movie, he's got this hair,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know, he's bald,
Right.
Or The Rock or Jason Statham, you know, you see him with hair.
Well, now The Rock, if he were to have hair, it would look funny.
It looks painted on.
It would look funny if someone who you normally see bald suddenly had hair.
That's
like
what I mean.
when
It's the
people see me
opposite.
with this hair hat, they're kind of weirded out. It's like, I don't know how I feel about this.
Right.
You're weirding me out right now when I see you
Right.
with hair. Yeah, and
No,
I understand it.
It is funny. I watched a movie, Snatch. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
And it had Jason Statham in
Yeah.
it, and he has hair in it. You know, it's receding, it's thin, but he's got hair, and
Right.
it just looks so young and different. And I'm
Well,
like, I like him better
that's the
bald.
obsession with hair.
Right.
It makes you look young.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'll look younger shaved than I do with just baldness.
Well, I feel like it draws more attention. Like, if people see that this guy has a comb over, and that seems like more,
Trying to hide
Yeah.
the fact that you're bald.
right.
Yeah.
I think that creates more attention rather than being
Shaving
bald.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for sure. But I think I'm going to look younger bald. If I shave it with a blade, then it leaves stubble. Like, I like the stubble look, but not thick. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah.
You can get a tattoo.
Not yet.
No, I'm saying you can get a tattoo of
The dots,
of
the
an outline of
pigmentation,
your,
like the
yeah.
little, I don't know about
So it makes
that.
it look like you have it shaved like a number 1 or number 2.
Right, and I thought about that.
But done well, it look okay.
Exactly.
But if done wrong,
You're in panic mode.
You're screwed.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like women who get their brows done.
Right.
I've seen some shit brows on social media. Like, wow.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
wow.
that's permanent.
And then I've seen.
Remember the permanent makeup? The when it first started.
In what way?
Well, when it first started, this was probably like 15.
What do you mean permanent
years ago.
makeup?
Well, they tattoo makeup on you.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Like on cheeks and stuff?
Yeah, they
I
have.
remember that.
Some women have permanent makeup tattooed on them.
Wow. You know what? Now that you bring it up, I remember like vaguely, but it's been a long time. That went away quick, didn't it?
You gotta trust. Well, I'm sure there's not a lot of people. It's not a very comfortable procedure. I'm sure. So I wouldn't think very many women.
Well,
would
now women
opt for that. But I mean, the convenience of it just being on all the time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know,
And I know
it's
women
the
that
same thing with the hair. If I were to do the hair tattoo,
right. Well, women that I'm a big fan of the eyebrows when they get them done, and when they look amazing, like
yeah,
flawless
absolutely.
eyebrows.
I've seen some people without their eyebrows done, and they look like a cancer patient.
Yes, but have you seen the ones that do I don't know what they do to them, but they
The,
fill it in and but it's like tattooed and
Yeah,
whatever, and it looks
sure.
amazing.
Right.
I mean, so that's what you get from social media. You look at these Instagram models, whatever, and you're like, wow, that's fantastic.
I've watched my share of makeup tutorials.
Yeah, well, I like seeing the before and afters.
I'll admit it. I've watched makeup tutorials. I think they're interesting. I think it's interesting. I've actually I've had just about the same amount of female friends as I've had male friends.
Yeah.
And I was always kind of not obsessed, but I was always intrigued by them wearing makeup, and I would hang out while they were putting on their makeup.
You're pretty fucking gay, huh?
I could have been a makeup artist.
Oh, makeup artist?
I feel like I could have been.
Interesting. I always wanted to be more of like growing up in the makeup horror movie kind of.
Oh, sure.
Makeup
Yeah.
and the masks and stuff like
Sure.
that. You know.
I feel like I could have done that too.
Yeah. I would say it was 4 years ago. A friend of mine did the zombie makeup on me. Oh, it was awesome. I thought she did a great job. And
Oh, I've done my own. Have you seen?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You've done your job.
Takes me a couple hours, but I do it myself, and I feel like
and it looks good.
Yeah, I feel like
we have a photo on I think on my Facebook with us playing chess. And we're both kind of in like makeup. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's crazy. So enough about that.
All right,
but
enough about hair. Enough
yeah,
about
no one gives a shit.
Depressing
Yeah.
subjects. So there is this San Diego developer that is putting up a luxury. Well, they're wanting to build this luxury building that, let's just say it's going to cost $5,000 for a resident to have a place there. But right next to it, they are also also adding on affordable housing.
Okay.
But they are putting in separate entrances for those people.
And it's all one
And it's all
building,
one building.
just different entrances.
Just different entrances for the people with affordable housing and different entrances for the people who are living in the luxury apartment. And the people that are living in the affordable housing will not have access to the rooftop amenities like the pool or the gym. And these people are up in arms, in fact, maybe even suing that developer because that is discriminating against, I don't know, I guess poor people. They're discriminating against these people who
They're Bernie Sanders fans. I mean,
but
they don't want to pay
how
for
is
it.
that fair? When the luxury apartment residents are paying $5,000, the people that are paying the affordable housing are paying $1,000. Of course, they're not. They shouldn't be allowed to the amenities of the luxury apartment.
And again, this is where, we agree. You get what you pay for, and but the people that pay very little into the system, and this system is the rent kind of thing. But they want everything.
Yeah, they want the same amenities as the people that are paying the luxury.
Yeah, but I don't see it as discrimination. It's just you get what you pay for.
That's what they're suing them for.
The other people are paying more for more amenities. That's just the bottom line.
I don't get it. It's amazing to me that some of these people just try to get more for nothing.
Yeah, that's again, our thoughts and prayers go out to you. You always have to say it like that.
Yeah, right. Thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers.
What's that guy's name?
Who?
The comedian that does that bit.
Does he?
Yeah,
I don't even know.
Yeah, he does that bit.
Really? I thought I made that one up.
Well, I mean,
everyone says that. That's the thing. In every school shooting,
a lot of people in Facebook say that. Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
On every tragedy, that's where I got it from. Like thoughts and prayers. It's like all sweet and it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you feel bad for the people that aren't paying the rent or as much?
No.
Like I don't even see how they can.
I don't see
say
how
with a straight face.
I don't see how they can legally or even possibly take that to court.
And yet it's California, so who knows?
Well, I mean, the developer should just say, you know what, screw the affordable housing. We're not going to build that part. Then we're just going to build luxury housing, and then.
But yet there's people in the system over there in the courts that are going to say everyone deserves equal treatment.
That's it.
Doesn't matter what you pay. Everyone deserves to be treated fairly, George. Fairly.
Yeah, even if you don't pay for it.
Yes, but you have to treat everyone fairly.
Right.
If there's a pool, everyone should be able to. What about the children?
What are you teaching? What are you teaching these children that they're not good enough?
On a hot summer day, they should have a pool.
Right.
I know.
It's segregation again, all over again.
It's racism, segregation, discrimination. I know.
What do you do?
It's crazy.
What else we got?
We got everything.
All we got to do for a topic is go on social media.
Pick out a random topic.
Here we go. It's just more people with selfies, more people with, let's see, what does this mean here? Just want to add also that you should consider washing your hands when there's not a global virus panic attack also. That's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like everyone's like, make sure you wash your hands. Well, yeah, what are we doing already anyway?
It's common sense.
Right.
How many times have you been in a restroom and they don't wash their hands?
Well, how many doors do you touch?
Everything.
How many
money,
doors,
sneezing, boogers, everything.
Absolutely.
Wiping your ass. It's unbelievable. But again, how many times have you been to a restaurant and you see someone not using gloves? They come in from wherever and they don't wash their hands.
Oh, I see all the
time.
You know what I see all the time is some of these fast food places. The cashier or the server is the same as the cashier. Yeah. So they're serving your food and then they're still wearing the gloves and then they take your money to put in the register with the gloves.
Morons.
I mean, it's like, why are you wearing the gloves? As a symbol, maybe, of your,
I don't get it. I mean, what happened to common sense and just common courtesy?
What's that saying? What's common in common sense?
No.
There's a saying. There's a saying.
Common sense?
There's a saying with.
It's not common to have common sense kind of thing.
No, it's not.
No longer
if it's not common, then it's not common sense. So where do you draw the line? Where do you define common?
Right.
When people say it's common sense, what's common to you? What's common to
Yeah, we're all unique snowflakes now, so there's no such commonality between people.
Here's an article. Surgeon General says stop buying masks. The U.S. Surgeon General urged people to stop buying masks, saying on Twitter that they are not effective in preventing the general public from catching the virus. Best way to protect yourself and your communities with everyday preventive actions like staying home when you're sick and washing hands.
Well, they are saying
that's what everything. When you have the flu and
absolutely, but the masks are only good if you're already sick. It's for the sick,
right?
Not for the people who are trying not to get sick.
It's the sick people that should be wearing the mask.
That's what it is. They're not spreading the germs in a sense.
The mask. If you're healthy and you're wearing the mask, that's
nothing for you.
Yeah.
Right. And that's why there's again, people are stupid. They don't even read anything or know anything. They panic.
Right.
Everyone's in panic.
It's more of misinformed. I don't know.
But where are they? Everyone's saying if you're healthy, you don't need a mask. If you're not in contact with the sick, it's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
But yet they still do it. And now we have a mask shortage everywhere.
Right. Yeah, that's why they're saying all that, because there's a mask shortage.
But I heard once again, though, it's pretty similar to the regular flu, the coronavirus. And, again, if you have symptoms, I mean, there's going to be a small percentage of people who unfortunately don't make it. But that's in everything in life. I mean, I told you the other day, 40,000 people a year in this country die from obesity. 40,000. But no one cares.
Oh, and by the way, our prior episode, we were talking about how many people die, in so many seconds or whatever. And I think I said, so many people die every 30 seconds or whatever. It's actually 1.8 people die every
1.8 people die. Okay.
Well, I mean, just because of the statistic, that's how it's divided. So basically, almost two people die every second.
And how many people are born every second?
4 people are born every second.
So with that math, we're going to be overpopulating even more. They keep overpopulating.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, but that's amazing.
Amazing.
Almost 2 people die every second.
Right. So it's during this podcast, several thousand people died already.
Right, basically.
And yet no one says anything.
But several thousand have been born as well.
Right. And we need to celebrate life all the time. And you never know when your time's up.
Oh, absolutely. Once your time is up. I mean, there's no more evidence than when a guy is sleeping in his own bed and a sinkhole happens underneath his house and gets killed.
Right.
That guy's time was up. There was no getting around that. I mean, a sinkhole underneath his guy's house while he was sleeping.
Right.
Swallowed him up.
Well,
it's just that guy's time.
Right now, you can get hit by an asteroid, something from space just knocks
satellite, sure.
Anything. I mean, a lightning bolt, a car can come crashing through my front door right now and kill us both.
Right.
My neighbor can go crazy and just off us. I mean, I believe that too. When your number's up, it's up.
Absolutely.
And
I believe that too.
You see these videos of people cheating death. It's amazing. And
their
time wasn't up.
Yeah, near deaths. Yeah.
Just there wasn't up.
Oh, I love the headlines on those. The one I saw said, "This is evidence that God exists." And of course, the video is full of ones that are near misses. People surviving crashes and all that. Well, I guess God hated those ones that actually got killed in some of the accidents that happened.
What about all the people that died? Did God not like them? It's nuts, man. But I don't think anyone can dispute when your time's up, it's up, and it's how you check out that we all worry about, maybe.
Oh yeah,
or it's up.
There's that story I read a couple days ago about this guy who had tickets to go to America. Right? He was in I don't remember the country or location where this was, but you will at the end of the story. So anyway, this guy bought tickets for his whole family, non-refundable tickets to go on this ship to go to America. But his son got bitten by a dog. Of course, I don't know if the story is true. I got it from social media, but this is the story.
It's got to be true.
This is the story. His son got bit by a dog, so now he has these $1,000 tickets for his whole family. But the ship wouldn't accept the son because he got bitten by the dog, and they wanted to quarantine him. So they weren't going to the son is not going to make the trip, or he won't be allowed to make the trip.
Okay.
So the father's like, well, what would you do? I
love my son. I'd stay home with the son. If I'm just a cheap bastard, I guess I'll go on a trip.
You have a wife, a daughter, a son, and you. So you just paid $4,000 for this non-refundable trip to go to a country that you need to go to.
I would stay home with my son and let my wife and the other children go on the trip.
Okay.
That's what I would have done.
Well, so that's what he did. He stayed with his son, but then his wife and other daughter stayed with them as well.
Good man.
So none of them. Yeah. They all stayed.
Oh, they all stayed?
Yeah, they all stayed.
Okay.
Turns out it was the Titanic.
Well, I was going to say, it's going to be something crazy.
So the Titanic sank and killed the 1,500 people that were on board. So it's like...
It's amazing.
But then there's, I started reading the comments on there, and it's, God works in mysterious ways.
He killed the 1,500.
So too bad those 1,500 other people didn't get bitten by a dog.
Right. They just got eaten by sharks.
They just got frozen.
Yeah. A lot of them probably got eaten. Oh, well, I mean, like I said, when your time's up, and it is scary because you never know. I mean, we're all in line just to get, checked out, but we don't know where in line we are. Are you in the back of that line? Are you towards the front? You don't know. But we're all waiting in line.
Yeah, it's in control. Everyone thinks they're always in control. You're in control of your health. You're in control of your safety. And it's, they say control is an illusion because you never know when you get a heart attack.
Anything. But what pisses me off is I drive. I'm a very safe driver these days. I mean, when I was younger, I drove like an idiot. And, I was never in an accident that I caused or anything like that. But I drive very safe now. I'm in a big truck. I take my time. I don't really speed. I don't really do anything crazy. But I can't say that for everybody else on the road. And somebody could hit me. So as safe as I am, I'm not in control.
Right.
Absolutely. So my hands are in society's hands.
That's why they say
my life is in their hands.
Right. That's why everyone always says, or parents always say, I'm not worried about you, son. I'm worried about all the other drivers.
Which is kind of true.
It is true.
On some level. I mean, but it's the young people who are driving on the road I worry about because I was young and I knew how I drove and I was reckless and I didn't have that experience. And when the weather's bad and there's icy roads or whatever, people can't drive.
Yeah.
And so
they forget how to drive, or they forget about physics.
Yeah.
It's like a wet road is different from a dry road.
Exactly. Visibility, right?
Visibility too.
You can't see in front of you. You don't speed, you morons. But that's a whole nother topic,
Yes.
But yeah, just driving alone. We once said, we had a debate a long time ago. I said driving's hard, and I forgot your stance. You were like it was easy or something, but I remember it was very vague, and I thought about it and I said, it's operating a vehicle is easy, but driving is hard. And I remember that. I don't remember if you remember.
Yeah, no, I do remember something like that.
I really feel like operating a vehicle is easy, but driving is hard because it's
Right.
people driving.
Driving
and
well.
People are not. Yeah.
Driving well is hard.
Operating a vehicle is easy. That was the point I didn't make that time. But we could all operate a vehicle, but people have different reflexes. I could barely see down the road, so everyone has different disabilities. Seriously.
So you shouldn't be driving.
Absolutely not. I don't even think I should drive at night anymore. But I wear glasses if I'm in my contacts and one rubs out and you're trying to get home, but weather conditions. There's so many factors. That's all I'm saying. And when you don't have experience, like, for instance, you were a truck driver. Do you think everyone could just drive a truck?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Now that might be easy to you to operate, but not to the normal person. But let's just say somebody goes through the program. They have very little experience behind this rig.
Yeah,
and then,
I had no experience.
And after years, I bet you had it's kind of nerve wracking. So it takes
you
years.
you have to consciously have a full respect of this huge, gigantic machine
Couldn't even imagine.
that you are in control of, quote unquote, in control of, and you need to know what's going around. So you're constantly looking you're constantly looking at your side mirrors, seeing who's beside you,
Right.
And all that.
I have a cousin. He's been
And people out there don't make it easy for truck drivers because,
what I mean, no
because
respect.
they don't realize, one, how hard it is to drive this truck,
Right.
but two, they think that it's a hassle, or they think it's a nuisance. They don't
Trucks are a
realize
nuisance.
they don't realize this truck is delivering the grocery that you're on your way to, that you need.
Absolutely.
And sometimes people are like, I'm going to go in front of this truck because they're slow and stuff like that.
They
But
jam on my brakes and they better stop.
it's
It's got to be frustrating for truckers. But
Yeah.
people are impatient and they're rude and no common courtesy. Once again, that's where we had a debate once where you believe in the positivity of people. I want to believe people are positive and grateful, but I see a lot of the negative, and it's because of there's just so many examples in life, and it's hard. It's hard to believe in mankind anymore, like the greater good. People don't care anymore.
I think it's we just need to get more information out there. You know what I mean? It's
information's at your fingertips these days.
Again, it's education. It's educating the public about certain things. And I don't know everything. I get annoyed by some things that I probably shouldn't be because I just don't know about it.
But that's everybody on every
But
topic.
I think at this age, I know more than obviously than what I did when I was younger.
Right, but
And I
that's
have
what I'm saying.
I have a lot more respect of a lot of things that people do now. As opposed to when I was younger, I was young and dumb and didn't know half of how the world worked, and I was annoyed by half of the things people did. But I didn't realize this is why they do those things. And one of them was trucking.
All right, but if
I was one of those people that was annoyed by truckers.
But the standard bell curve, even if you're in the middle of the road there, you have 50% on the standard bell. I mean, think about all the people that are on the lower end of that they don't know anything. And that's why you could always say it's education. They just don't know. But it's like you got class and trash. You got, Democrats, Republicans. We have different races, everything. Everyone finds discrimination or something else. So we're gonna have to wrap this up for this episode.
Unfortunately, that is our time.
That is our time. So I just want to wish everyone well, be kind, stay humble, and to love each other, man.
All right, everyone, that is our time for this episode. Hopefully you learned something new. Maybe you even connected with some of you at some level, or you were just plain entertained. Thank you very much for joining us. Remember, always be grateful, think of the things you have in life, and don't obsess about what you don't have. Keep looking forward, and always strive to be better than you were yesterday. Thanks. See you next time.
Sweet. Until next time, be kind. Take care.